I haven't done one of these classes in like a week and a half. So I've been alone, I've just been doing my own thing. But we really used the first part of this quarantine thing, and we made lemonade out of lemons, we'll call it, all right? So the idea was we started doing these classes for different groups, and we were able to raise $100,000 for our employee relief fund by doing these classes and then auctioning off dinners, online auctions for dinners at our restaurants, be it brunches and dinners and traveling, like I'm coming to people's houses and doing all kinds of things like that. So it's been very rewarding, and we wanted to give some love. So Chris Day and Wendy and the whole team up there at Irvine were like, let's entertain my crew. And so here's your entertainment. And if you've been watching, I've been on a little TV show called Top Chef All-Stars. Spoiler alert, earmuffs, my friends. Earmuffs if you're not caught up. If you're all caught up, here we go. Well, last week was my last week. Those dirty sons of guns, it goes with the ranch. Those dirty sons of guns, they just didn't get my food to the right table, right? And I did the dreaded duo, and they wouldn't even let me tell Tom how to eat it. He stirred it all together. Oh, wow, it doesn't taste very good, he said. I was like, Tom, you're an old man. You came from the time period when they did duos. All the restaurants. Michael's back in the 90s, they did duos. I was celebrating the time-honored tradition of the duo and bringing the product from the farmers markets to Michael's. But whatever. I had a good run. Secretly, I had to come back and check on the ranch, check on some restaurants down in San Diego. So it's all good. But if I was a gambling man, I might think I might make another appearance to show up someplace in that little country that looks like a boot. So stay tuned, my friends. Malarkey has not written his last show. So this is funny. I didn't realize that until today because I don't really pay attention to things until I'm right into them. But I'm doing 2 tuna dishes, all right? It's tuna 2 ways. So essentially, you're getting your own duo right now. How amazing is that? And how many people have the ingredients and they're going to be cooking with me? Hands, 2 hands. So she's been cooking twice as much because it's a duo. Duh. All right. So we're going to get going. The one thing I noticed here is that it says buy greens or have rice ready. So I don't know if you caught that, but because the poke needs to go on the rice or it needs to go on the greens. And if you remember, Urban Ranch had a little bit of rice and greens on the grains, or the grains and the greens. I made some kind of nice little rice back here. If you don't have rice, look around. If not, we're going to use greens. And if not, we're going to grab a tortilla. And if not, we're going to use tortilla chips. And if not, potato chips. And if not, you're going to use a spoon. All right, you're going to eat some poke with a spoon. So that's the only thing I just noticed here. And my friends at Right Rice, brought to you by the Irvine Group and Right Rice, all right? When you do silly little game shows, they send you all kinds of free products, and I have this one today, and this is the guy that does those rice pops, the crackery things, you know? Those things are pretty good, but this is Right Rice made from vegetables, all right? So it's got some rice, but it also has some other grains in it and stuff like that. They're trying to cut the gluten down and bring the protein up. And I have Thai curry, different flavors, and it cooked up really nice. So I'm seriously not endorsing this because I haven't had a bite of it yet, but I thought I might just tell you about it, all right? So because rice is great, but it does have a little bit of, the carbs. It doesn't have the gluten, but it has the carbs. But right now, we're carbing up, all right? Never has bread or pasta been more popular than right now, all right? Here we go. Let's cook. We'll tell some stories. You guys can ask some intimate questions about Padma and whoever and whatever. And preferably, we'll just talk about Padma. You can tell she loves me on the show if you watched it. Big love. Sailor's here in the kitchen. You want to say hi? Oh, yeah. Spring break. Come here. This is my daughter, Sailor. This is what happens when you don't have school in the summertime and you barely made it through the classes where your dad was the teacher. All right. But I passed her. She is graduating from high school right now. I just took her all the way to the end. She's out of here. Off to college. Okay. Here we go, kids. We're going to cook together. I love it. Somebody's on the Golden Gate Bridge looking good. So the poke bowl. So the idea is this. So we're going to go to Mahalo, right? Our amazing little Asian poke bar. And the way that we designed everything was so it was really fresh and really fast. And so we also used, we didn't want to have to deal with gluten and the soy sauce, right? So we only used tamari, which is a gluten-free soy sauce. And the flavor's phenomenal. You'll never know the difference. So just kind of make that a habit. It's a good thing. We're going to hit it with a little bit of yuzu, which is like a Japanese citrus, which is just lovely, big, bright. I read Jonah's recipe, and you'll have enough for salad dressing for a little while. So don't make it all if you don't want to use it, or make it all and use it for everything. And of course, rice wine vinegar. And if that's too bright, we'll also thin it out with a little bit of olive oil if you want to. But the star of this show and the star of the next one is the tuna. I was very fortunate. My local little grocer here sometimes has nice tuna, sometimes doesn't have nice tuna. But the bluefin run is happening, all right? We are getting local bluefin up and down the coast right now, earliest ever, all right? And you hear, you know, sometimes sustainability, the bluefin's not this, the bluefin's not that. Well, the big Mediterranean and the deep Atlantic bluefin tuna, they are endangered, all right? But when they run out here off the West Coast, you can walk across them, all right? They're everywhere out there. We like to use a lot of albacore tuna a lot of the time, and albacore is also great. They call it the white tuna, but you can get beautiful albacore tuna. But look at that purple, beautiful, oh yes. I'm gonna be actually, I'll probably put this in tortillas later tonight because my kid says Taco Tuesday. I'm not eating a rice bowl. I'm not eating a salad. I'm eating a taco. The idea here is if you do have a loin like this, you'll always see that there's that dark, dark, rich part right there. That's the bloodline. All right? That's what we don't want. All right, we want to cut that out. It's going to taste a little mercury-ish. And again, tuna, you know tuna is good when it's firm and it's bright. It's got a nice little glisten to it, and that's all you need to know. So you can use albacore tuna, you can use the bluefin, the yellowtail. Like I said, I think we actually put in there, you could use salmon if you wanted to on this one, or you could use tofu. And I think those were both options that we had up at the ranch. Oh, I didn't finish the ranch. So you got the ranch side, but the herb side comes from herb and wood, herb, as they say in England or Australia, convicts, all of them. Herb and wood, or herb and sea, herb and eatery, all right? So a little bit of herb, all right? It's all about the green, my friends. So now tuna, we're gonna learn some knife skills today, basic things, all right? When we cut our knives, we're never over here, we're never over here, we're never leaning like this. The French technique, all right? Everything is right in front of you. I'm just gonna take it, cut nice big cubes, big strips, down all of it. This is what those darn gloves come in real handy for right now. Right? This, and earlier today we had a really interesting day. I have a Weimaraner sitting right next to me by my feet right now. I'm hoping something falls. Well, earlier today something did fall. Now I've cut them in nice big long strips like that. Now I'm going to just lay them down and cut down lengthwise there.
How thick are those strips, would you say?
I'm going to say they're probably, mine are going to be a little bit bigger because they're probably going to be, you know, 1/3 of an inch to a 1/2 inch cubes. I like a big, big chunky cube, but you could actually do little ones if you want to. So I got like 3 strips right there. Right there, Well, I could say a little bit bigger than a gummy bear. All right, gummy bear, poke coming next. And we'll come here, sharp knife, just line them all up. Everything is kind of Henry Fordish assembly line. You want to just keep doing the same over and over again. And again, very sharp knife. And I'm using a different cutting board than I'm going to use everything else with. Anytime you're cutting anything raw, you want to make sure you're using a different cutting board than for your cooked stuff. So I have this cutting board and I have another one underneath it. And I'll switch out in here in just a second. Tuna will get a little bit gummy on your knife, so you just want to get through it real fast. And again, now I'm just doing my cute little dices right there. Very, very nice. But speaking of the dog looking for a falling treat, well, it's spring. In case you didn't notice, spring is in the air. I have little birdies in my backyard. We have 2 nests that have been the most fascinating thing of our quarantine here. Me and the kids, we sneak and look at the baby birds. And do you know it only takes 10 days to 2 weeks before those little baby birds can fly? Well, one of the nests, we launched 5 little baby birds and they are all happy and they all left, right? We're so happy. Well, this other nest, one of them may have fallen out, or maybe 2 of them fell out today, and we lost one. We lost one little baby bird, and it may have because a Weimaraners, bred for birds. And so we locked her up, but there was another one on the ground, and we couldn't find it, and the mom bird and dad bird were like, chirp, 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 chirp. And I knew because when I was a kid, my mom said, if you ever see a bird that falls out of the nest, you can't touch it because it'll smell, and then your mom and dad won't like it. So I got my gloves on very, very delicately, different ones than these. I threw those away. All right, let's be real now. So I threw those gloves away, but we couldn't find the baby bird. Miles, my little twin, the other one right there, we were looking around, we're like, baby bird, baby bird. The mom's like looking around. And we're like, we're never gonna find this baby bird. And if the sprinklers come on in the morning, what's gonna happen? So you know what we did? We got the dog, put her on a leash, and took her out there and made her find the baby bird real quick. And we pulled her away, and I scooped up that little baby bird, and I put it back into its nest. And the mom and dad are so thankful, and they're hanging out with the baby bird. It was a good day today. It was real nice, feel really happy about that. All right, back to cooking. Straighten up. No feel-good stories right now, my friends. The world doesn't need a feel-good story right now, huh? Of course we do. Now, I have these bowls right here. Can you see over here? Nice little trick right there. You take your big knife, pick it up. Make sure you practice that slowly so you don't take the blade down inside your hand. Big, beautiful diced up tuna. Yes. Just like that. Take the cutting board, get rid of it, take out the gloves, back in action. So I think now we need to put some good stuff with this, all right? So the vinaigrette, we're just gonna kind of mix it up in there as we go. So I have jalapeno, traditional stuff here. This is the good stuff. Limes, cucumber, cilantro, and our vinaigrette. Other things you substitute, you can add some avocado in there, always good. I think one of the greatest pairings of all time, it's not salt and pepper, it's not pasta and red sauce. I think it's tuna and avocado, all right? It's just such a good combination. Mint is always fun if that's something laying around your house. Green onions could work. That really weird little seaweed salad's always very popular. Shallots, garlic, but we're gonna keep it nice and simple and traditional here. So let's do our jalapeno. I like mine spicy, but not too spicy. So if I want to get the jalapeno flavor without burning my face off, I'm gonna cut around the outside. Can you see? All right, so I'm just gonna do strips around the outside while leaving the seeds in. I don't want the seeds, so I'll cut around there. There. I didn't do very good today. See, I've been out of practice. Lauren, who actually books all these for me, she gave me last week off so we can launch our takeout business. And look at that, I'm rusty, I'm fumbling around, I've got jalapeno seeds all over. But you'll see I just cut around the outside, and I have just the outside where the seeds are nice and intact in the middle. Get rid of these, and do not touch your eyes. Maybe that's just what we need to learn how to do. I mean, we were not supposed to be touching our faces anymore. Probably we're never supposed to touch our faces in the first place, but maybe what we should do. I had a cousin that used to suck her thumb for far too long, and my dad would put cayenne pepper on it when she came to visit, right? Well, maybe we just need to start life off with just a good old handful of jalapeno pepper every morning, and that will remind us not to be touching our face anymore, all right? And for the gentlemen out there in the world, you know where else you shouldn't be touching. Now, I'm just gonna do a nice little dice. So again, right angle, the knife is directly in front of me, and I'm just cutting this into little tiny strips. I'll do the whole one because my kids will not eat raw tuna, which is great. And you know what my kids will not eat either? Avocado. And when I was a kid, my parents would like, you want some avocado? And I'd be like, no, gross. And they're like, good, more for us. So that's how I feel about tuna and avocado. So I'm really happy they don't like it. And one day they will develop a taste for it, and we'll go to a restaurant and they'll order the tuna, and we all know how expensive the tuna is. Okay, so I've just taken all those little strips, turned them to their side, never move my knife. I always, again, the knife is right there in front of me. And I have all of this very beautiful diced jalapeno. Good fun to practice your knife skill. I'm gonna put, the tablespoon I said I was gonna put in there. And then I've got this plate kind of for my leftover ingredients that I can add later if I want to. But again, you can always add, you cannot take out. That goes for salt, that goes for heat, that goes for whatever ingredient you want, acid. So I'll just put my extra jalapeno right there. Cucumber. This is kind of like a nice English cucumber, smaller seeds, a little more delicate on the skin. What I like to do with cucumbers is I take my peeler. I love to have the green as color because, you know, the holidays are red and green, so I might as well just stick with that. But I do like to have colors in my food, but I do like to get rid of about half of the skin, so I like to do strips, right? So I leave some green, I take some green. I leave some green, I take some green. Perfect. Now, some people are adamantly opposed and hate the seeds of the cucumber, but I like them also. We shall call it the caviar of the cucumber, right? Caviar of the tomato. See, as chefs, we're just kind of, if you saw Top Chef, if I couldn't sell a dish and talk about my dish, did it really happen? I don't know, right? So the caviar of the cucumber, doesn't that sound fancy? Let's cut this into strips, about half what we need here. I'm gonna just take it, I'll cut little strips there. I cut it in half, then I just go around. I'm gonna get about 4 pieces out of each half of that cucumber, which is gonna be about the exact same size as the ahi tuna, right? Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful. Now I have all these nice little strips, right angle, right at you again. Okay, hand, thumb behind the hand. Thumb never goes for a walk in front of the hand. Cucumber, not expensive. Fingertip, very expensive. Do not hurt the fingertip, all right? And then as you practice this, and you start talking to people when you're doing it, they think you're really cool. They're like, oh my gosh, stop, don't do it, don't do it. Well, I'm doing it, so there it is. All right, nice little diced up cucumber there. When I get to the end, you call the kids and you give them the little pieces on the end because they love cucumbers. Again, maybe I have too much, so I start with just about a tablespoon there. I'll put this on my little extra accoutrement plate. We can put them on top of the salad. We can use them for something different. But there those are, my extra pieces. And now we're gonna cut up some onion. The good thing is the onion is for both recipes. So as Jonah likes a lot, sweet onion. You can use red onion, yellow onion, green onion. I don't care. So just kind of more of a lighter flavored onion is what he's referring to in that recipe. I like to cut it in half. Here's the stem side still there. Cut the front half off, cut it in half, and peel it. Same with the other one. This is the old French way of cutting the onion, and yeah, it's fun to learn. I don't know if anybody ever watched that Julia and Julia movie about Julia Childs. A lot of fun, but she was entering this men's business back in like the 50s, and she went to the French Le Cordon Bleu, and they're like, well, you'll never be able to cook like a man. You can't even cut an onion. And then it shows her with this giant bag of onion, just tears rolling down her eyes and just practicing. Onions are not terribly expensive, so if you want to practice your knife skills, this is a fun one to do. It's like playing, if you go to somebody's house, you're cooking food, you can cut the onions nice. It's like, you know, if you know a song on the piano, you know, you're gonna impress a few people. So I have it on the cutting board, sharp knife, my fingers kind of go into it a little bit, just holding down tight on top. I'm gonna do 2 this way and about 4 this way. All right. Yeah. 1 that way, 2 that way. I lied. I'm going to do 3. Just be very careful. And again, this is why a sharp knife is so important. You got on here early with me. We had this steel here. This is not the round one that you got in the wedding set or that your friends have over there. This is a diamond-shaped steel that actually has like a sandpaper grit to it. And it actually takes the metal off the knife. So this is something that you can hone your knives with. And this is a Japanese knife. That means that it's got a sharper, a softer steel, which actually makes it sharper because it's so soft. I can actually sharpen it with just that little steel there, as opposed to like a big German knife that you have to like take down to the guy that's got the zzz, the grinder. He's like, now that thing will be sharp for a very long time, but when it's not sharp, it is super hard to get sharp again. Whereas these Japanese knives are super easy to get sharp. Now I'm going to go down the top, gently there. This is going to be perfect for my dice. Probably a half onion is going to be able to do enough for both of these right here. Come back there, so you'll see it slice, 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 top, top, top. And then just down, 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 down. Just like that. And when you get to about this part, that's when you throw it in the stock pot or you make a soup out of it, because again, it's just not worth cutting your fingers up. Get our onions. We're gonna put our onion. We're gonna put just a little bit of onion in the poke. Nice little bright onion flavor there. And then the other onion I'm gonna set over here in our kind of our extra plate so that we can put that into our tuna salad also. And here's the truth. If you watch those game show, cooking shows and stuff like that, you never see anybody say, where's the measuring cup? I'm from Oregon. I can't even say measure. My business partner says I can't say cement or measure. And he's from Boston. Now that's an embarrassment. There's a lot of words he can't say, but I'll make fun of him all the time. So, but you'll never say, oh my gosh, I have to weigh that. I have to measure that. I have to do that. It's just eyeball, eyeball, eyeball. That's why I am a savory chef and not a pastry chef. Pastry chefs, they weigh and measure everything. Not us, my friends. So now, if we're going to make this, we're going to serve it soon, because the acid in the vinegar, and the rice wine vinegar, the yuzu, and the soy sauce, our tamari soy sauce, they're going to start cooking the fish. So if I want to only eat a little bit of this now, I would only do what I'm going to eat now. And if I want to have some a little bit later, probably the next day, tomorrow, then I'll mix it then. If you're not going to eat it now, this is a little trick to keep it bright and glossy and beautiful. Take a little olive oil and dump it on there, because the olive oil actually coats it and protects it, and the fat helps the fat. That makes sense. All right, now this is my liquid salt. Remember that. Soy is your liquid salt. So you're probably not going to need much salt. We can finish with just a little sea salt on top. Again, we just kind of doctor it up. Get a couple different spoons. You're cooking for your loved ones at home right now. Rice wine vinegar is just the brightest thing ever. All we want to do is finish it with a little bit of cilantro, but I'm not going to put the cilantro in it right now. I'm going to put the cilantro on top. This yuzu is that big, bright, fun citrus flavor. All of these things are readily available in your local grocer. I guarantee it. These are all very commodity things right now. Some people like to have kind of the aioli, the mayonnaise based. You could also just add a little bit of mayonnaise. There is the Kewpie, K-E-W-P-I-E, Kewpie mayonnaise. That is the Japanese mayonnaise that somehow has just crazy umami flavor. And now I just kind of toss it in there. The reason you guys love this poke so much is because it's so light and so bright. All right? We're also going to do a little bit of lime juice and a little bit of lime zest. I'm going to ask myself if I need the lime juice, because that yuzu is so bright, but the zest of this lime is so good right here. Anytime I use citrus, be it an orange, a lemon, a lime, a grapefruit, probably not a kumquat, I use the zest also. Really adds a big, big brightness to it. A lot of fun. Okay. Now, tasting spoons. Mixing spoon, tasting spoon. Hammer time. Have you seen that new commercial? Huh? Hammer time's back. You kids out there, if you don't know Hammer time, then you don't know Hammer time. Hammer time. So this is perfect. So the reason that we made so much extra vinaigrette though is because this does go into the salad. This does go into the rice. So the idea of this, and if you remember at the ranch, when you ordered this, we actually just put a whole lot more of the dressing on top of it. We gave you a big scoop of the beautiful poke, but then we used the vinaigrette to get into the rice and get into the salad also. And so let's see what we have here. Behind me, I have this interesting new rice from our good friends at Right Rice. Oh, whoop. I'm just gonna fluff that up right there. And so when you order the rice bowl at Mahalo, we always put the rice down. This smells amazing. So rice is so much fun. And when you're making it at home, if you do have any like curry powder or you have any coriander seed, whatever you want that gives it a little funk, a little flair, add a little bit of that to the rice and really give it some personality. I mean, you're going to definitely have a lot of personality from all the tamari and yuzu we just put in there. But you know what? Again, if you watch Top Chef, I always put in too many ingredients. But now, the reason is because I'm used to like a big, big menu and you just give me one dish. I just can't just like stop on one dish. But I like to take my flavors to the top. You know what it is? Everyone's like, do you have a Michelin star? Do you like Michelin stars? I was like, you know what? James Beard's cool. All right, they take all different types. But Michelin star, it's perfection. And you know what? Perfection's kind of boring, all right? They're scared to take a chance. It's gotta be perfect, all right? You can't be too low. You can't be too high. You gotta be perfect, all right? So we don't want to be perfect, my friends. We want to go, whoa, wow, crash, boom, bang, like the old, like the comic books. Now we take a little bit of our salad right here from a local farm, Organic Girls. Now, you guys are getting good local greens up there. This is a fun one right there. A little bit of greens right on top. We'll move the plate in here. So even on the rice, even on the rice bowls, we put some of the greens because they're just so great. Now I just scoop a lot of this poke right on top. I can already see it is starting to cook just a little bit. That's how fast it goes right there. Then I'm taking a little bit of this vinaigrette and I'm gonna just drop the vinaigrette all over the outside. This is where you could dice up some avocado. I'm gonna eat this for Taco Tuesday here in a minute. Now we make it look beautiful, all right? So that's looking pretty good. But you remember the great people at the ranch, they would take all that cilantro, the big stems, put it all over the top. Look at that, beautiful. Then you have the choices of all the fun stuff. The furikake, which is like, is nori and sesame seeds. We can put a little bit of that on top, or we can just go straight sesame seeds. We had hemp seed, we had the fried ginger, all compliments of the house. There you go. A little sea salt. A little cracked black pepper. The avocado, whatever you want. So super easy, and that's why poke is so much fun. It's just based on the freshness of the fish and simple ingredients. Right there. Who's coming to my house for dinner? All right, I officially have ended quarantine, and I am throwing a party at Casa Malarkey right now.
Does anyone have any questions for Chef about poke bowls and or cooking and or Urban Ranch and or Top Chef? Speak now. Oh, Netta is on the way to your house, to Casa Malarkey.
Add a little avocado to mine.
And Hang wants to know what you can substitute the ahi for. I know we mentioned salmon and tofu. Any other fish you like to eat?
As far as fish, it's going to be in the tuna family. There's not a lot of fish I would eat raw. If you get really good halibut and you kind of toss it, it's almost ceviche-ish. I would put it in that blend, but give it like 30 or 40 minutes, an hour, so that it starts cevicheing it up. Add that lime juice, really kind of gas it out a little bit. But tuna, yellowtail jack, hamachi, and you can do that with our local yellowtail that is also running with the tuna right now, but you really want to eat that yellowtail in the first day or two, because it's not the hamachi that's fattened up in Baja and Japan and Kona Kapache from Hawaii. So it doesn't have that big fat, the wild fish. It's like eating a farmed deer to a wild deer. It's incredible, but you want to eat it very, very quickly. Take my avocado, I just scooped it out with the spoon. Now I like to cut it once down the middle, kind of like the onion, but all the way through. And then I'm gonna cut it up about the same exact size as I did the poke, because like I said, poke loves avocado. I mean, tuna loves avocado, and avocado loves tuna. And I'm just gonna put that right on top. And now, you gotta season up, because the avocado doesn't have any of the seasoning on it. We're gonna go back, put a little bit more of that furikake on there. If you do have a little extra virgin olive oil finishing, oh my gosh, this would be so good. I'm gonna post this picture. Oh, no, I'm not posting this picture. In 3 days, in 5 days, I'm posting this picture. All right, little extra virgin olive oil. Oh, it's a good dinner here.
All right, I have some Top Chef questions for you too. What was your favorite Top Chef challenge?
Favorite Top Chef challenge? Well, I'm kind of a concept guy. So I love the concept challenge, obviously, and the donkey and the dragon almost won. All right, my Baja Asian concept almost won, which I wished it had. That was a fun one. Restaurant Wars is just grueling and brutal. That cooking in the mountains was horrific, because we hadn't slept for like 2 days, and then they made us go cook for all the moms in the mountains. The Jonathan Gold one was fun, because we got to go eat at those amazing restaurants and then get inspired and make something for Jonathan Gold. So that was great. Cooking for Kelly Clarkson and the Trolls was fun. That's where I made the coconut curry gelato-ish something or other I made.
And then another question is, how long does it take to film Top Chef? And are you away from your family that entire time?
6 weeks. 6 weeks. And do you know what it is? Is the first time I did it, which was 10 plus years ago, it was medieval. And you land and they take your phone away, they take your money away, they take your wallet so that you can't run. And then they put you through these grueling tests, and it's exhausting and stressful, and you don't get makeup, and you don't get fed properly, and it's craft table food and all this stuff. And then I was like 10 years later, they called me and they said, will you do it again? I was like, yeah, man, that wasn't bad the first time. And then you go back and it's the same thing over again. They lock you up. They take away your wallet, your phone, your money. They feed you much better food now these days. They have a better budget. But you only get to use your computer and use your phone if a camera is rolling and a producer standing over your shoulder. So that's extremely exhausting. And they put you through grueling tests, and you're scared about making an ass of yourself and going home early. All right. So yeah, 6 weeks for that. And if I make it to the boot, I think it's 2 more weeks for that.
Last question. After Top Chef, have you invested in an ice cream machine?
Well, funny you ask. We have an incredible pastry chef, Adrian Mendoza. And every episode that would air where I made ice cream, he would just text me and just shake the head emoji. Oh no, oh no. Until the last one, when I almost won. Now, Sherry Yard he idolizes her. He idolizes her. Now, I made 2 bad ice creams, but they were fun, and I had a good time. Because in reality, is Padma ever gonna let me win a quickfire? No way. She can't stand Malarkey. Secretly in love with me. She can't stand me. So she's not gonna let me win. So why even try? So I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna maybe set myself up for a future success. And since I don't know how to make ice cream very well, I know the ratio. It's my only measurement I know. I figured I'd just test the waters a little bit, or test the ice cream as we'll call it. And it worked out for me because I almost won the dessert challenge with Sherry Yard. And I made, in 30 minutes, right? I made a cake, wood fire cake. I made pink peppercorn ice cream. I made like a flambéed burnt peach caramel, all of that in 30 minutes. And then Chef Adrian, the pastry chef, he didn't send me that emoji anymore. I got the thumbs up emoji. Tuna melt time, kids. Tuna melt. Putting the Asian ingredients away, breaking out the good old Americana with a little bit of spicy Latin flavor. All right. So you can kind of go down a rabbit hole in the canned meat section of the grocery store. All right. Back in my first season of Top Chef, I won the Ghetto grocery store with Spam. Now we're not going there, but I was like really looking at different tuna fillets because I'm in Point Loma, and this is a whole little town is founded by the Portuguese fishermen who chased the tuna from here to there to everywhere. And so great respect. This is home to Bumblebee Tuna and several other big ones down here, right? So the idea is whoa, all boiled down. I'm just gonna drain the water or oil. It doesn't matter if it's an oil-based or a water-based tuna. I love tuna fish. My wife and I love to make it. I also, sometimes when I do have halibut or like a whitefish, a snapper, or a sea bass or a grouper, if I buy some, I always buy a little bit extra because this one you can substitute with any fish. You essentially can make a salmon salad. You can make a whitefish, a halibut salad. So any of those, I almost like it more the next day. So I'll sear it, grill it, poach it, roast it, whatever I do. And then I'll take some and I'll put it in the fridge, right? And then the next day, I won't necessarily mayonnaise them up all the time. I mean, this one we're gonna put some mayonnaise in here, but if you put extra virgin olive oil, some onions, capers, herbs, any of that stuff with those fish, you can have a cold fish salad the next day that is amazing. Put some beautiful tomatoes with it. And it's just so simple and so good and so healthy. So we do have access to a lot of great fish down here. But tuna fish is one of the very few fish, maybe the only fish in Tom's old man's opinion, that you can put cheese with and it's acceptable. All right? Hello, who's that cute little kid in the crib up there? Hello, hello over there, hello. I'll stop cussing now, I'm sorry. Here we go. So we're gonna go a little traditional here. We're gonna do a little bit of onion, and you don't have to do this, but this is what you all love at the ranch. And a little bit of, you can add cucumber, you can add, you know what, again, this is a salad, but like a fish salad, right? Now, if I say fish salad, it kind of sounds gross, but the idea is you can put sun-dried tomatoes in there. You can put olives, capers, so many great things. You can put whole grain mustard. You can put Dijon. You can put whatever you want in this and really just kind of keep adding to it. We're gonna keep it real simple for you. One stalk of celery here. Some people peel celery. I don't peel celery. I love celery, and then I hate celery. But in this dish, I absolutely love celery. I just don't like celery. A lot of times, I guess I don't like stewed celery, where you just kind of stew it down. I like it to still have some crunchiness and wateriness to it. I don't know if you remember last year, 2 years ago in Hollywood, it was all about celery juice, and you couldn't buy celery. There was a celery shortage in the world. Vampire blood, I think, all right? They thought if you ate celery, you were forever young. Well, that trend's over, my friends. We're back to pasta and bread. I just cut the celery into 3 little strips right there, and I'll cut it in half. Cut the deck like I'm cutting cards right there, and we want this to be about the same size as the onion, so nice and small, and this just adds a little depth to it. Again, it's kind of like the Caesar salad of sandwiches, all right? Sometimes your sandwiches are clean and nice, and you get all the nuances in it. And sometimes your salads real fresh, and you taste all the herbs and stuff like that. And sometimes it's Caesar salad, where you're getting Parmesan, anchovies, big full flavors. You can hardly taste the lettuce, but the salad dressing is so good you love it. All right, the tuna melt is kind of like that also. We're gonna take this tuna that's been in a can for God knows how many years, right? And we're gonna put just some little nuance, some nice little notes to it. The onions, the celery, a little brightness, bringing it back to life. And then we're gonna take our chipotle. Now you can get chipotle sauce that's completely pureed, or you can get the chipotle in adobo, which is the big chunkier pieces here. This one's the nice little pureed, real nice, smoky, beautiful, great flavors. This is massive amounts of umami in a can right here, all right? Chipotle is one of the greatest flavoring agents of all time. And again, we're not putting the chipotle on the poke now. We're putting the chipotle on the tuna fish. So the idea is, I have some lemon. I have some Best Foods mayonnaise. I was on a TV show back in the day called The Taste, and I did the mayonnaise commercial. And now I took a lot of heat from other chefs, all right? Oh, I can't believe you endorsed mayonnaise. I can't believe that. And I said, you should see how much they paid me. And then I said, you know what? I love mayonnaise. I was born on a ranch in Oregon. I'm allowed to love mayonnaise, right? I know how to make aioli, but you know what? There's something good about aioli. Something good about the mayonnaise, all right? So now, you almost put too much mayonnaise in this. And again, I'm not doing tablespoons and teaspoons and doing that. We're just kind of putting it all together. I like it spicy. I like it smoky. I like the umami. So I'm going to be very generous with that. Again, I might just add more of all of them. Lemon zest. This is my friend the microplane. Really good friend of mine. Yep. This is one of the things we do on all the stations in all our restaurants. We always have zest, zest, zest. If you haven't utilized your zest, you're missing one of three components from the lemon, right? You got the zest, the segments, and the juice. We're just going to use two of those today. We're going to use the juice and the zest. This is my favorite thing in the world. I start every day of my life with this right here, all right? The lemon press. I start every morning with a nice big glass of cold ice water with a lemon squeezed into it. Beautiful. Again, maybe I'll just put half in there because I want to make sure lemon zest is great, lemon juice is great, but sometimes things can just be a little bit too lemony. We have that. Let's give it a little bit of stir. So what we're going to do next is not traditional. This is just something that my team and I came up with because we're going to talk about caramelization here for a second. Okay? So we like to have rich tuna fish, right? And you can use that Kewpie mayonnaise, the Japanese mayonnaise. The chef people won't give you a hard time if you use that. I'm going to do a little bit of pepper in here. If it was for my kids, I wouldn't put the pepper in here. Kids these days, they just don't appreciate pepper. I don't know what it is. All right, touch of the salt, but you gotta be careful because sometimes the tuna fish can be very briny, very salty. The mayonnaise is already a finished product, so it has salt content to it. And the chipotle will also have salt content to it. Okay, tasting spoon here. Yahoo. Oh my.
Chef, we have a question about Urban Ranch. Kathy says the employees at Urban Ranch speak very highly of you and you bring them gifts. What are the gifts that you're bribing your Urban Ranch employees with?
I give them hats and aprons and knives to the ones I really, really like. Microplanes to some of them that they get to take home. And as much as Christina doesn't like it, I encourage them to try all of those cool little snacks and the beverages they're selling also. So I'm like, hey guys, I think we should do a tasting right now. I think that's what they're talking about is like chef gives them really good family meals. Okie doke. So there it is. It's nice and moist here. So what we do with our tuna fish at the ranch is we actually make our own tuna. We get a whole loin of the albacore tuna and we actually poach it in olive oil and we tear it up. So it's going to be much bigger and meatier, flakier. But what we do is, because caramelization is so good, every vegetable, protein, every fruit, everything has natural sugar in it, all right? So even when you toast bread, you're toasting the natural sugars of it, right? But the idea is, if I had a tuna melt and I take my bread, I put it inside my bread, and then I toast the outside over here in the oven, which we're gonna do in a second. We'll bring our little burner up here to about a medium heat. Non-stick pan, which I washed, non-stick pan. One of the things I forgot on my directions is this is a staple in my kitchens, all right? We're gonna put a little Pam on the bottom of this. Who is Pam? Because she's a good woman. She's done good to me for a long time, all right? All right? What we do is we actually take the tuna fish, about as much as we would put on our sandwich, and we toast it. We obviously do this in large batches at the ranch, but we pre-sear the tuna. So it's not just crunchy bread, but when you bite through it, you're tasting the crunchiness of the tuna fish. So it's gonna caramelize with that kind of the aioli, the mayonnaise, and the fish, and it's gonna get nice crunchiness on it. And then we'll slide it into our bread. Today's bread is brought to you by buttermilk bread. And then we will then toast it again on each side. So see, that's how much we love you up there. We're toasting the tuna fish salad inside the tuna fish melt. We'll get a couple nice pieces of bread here. Now what I'm gonna do is, I just took it over here, I got a little higher heat. It's important that I get it to a nice medium-high heat so that it doesn't like release the liquid and kind of like bubble and kind of steam itself. We want it to hit hard, sear, crunchy. Then we're gonna flip it with a rubber spatula. You always wanna use a rubber spatula when you're using non-stick pans so that it doesn't tear it up. And I think we said we're gonna put some cheese. I said slices. I didn't buy slices. I sold the kids taco cheddar. Tomato, which sometimes I'm a big hot tomato man, sometimes not so much a hot tomato man. So you can leave those out if you want to. Use them if you don't. And we'll come over here. Tuna fish looking good. It's gonna go right on here. We'll take it, and I'm just gonna. So you know when you're sauteing right, because you can hear it, all right? You can hear it. You make sure it's nice and hot, all right? Anytime you put something in there, you want hot. And now, this tuna fish is cold. So when I put something cold and something hot, the temperature comes down. So I wanna make sure that I'm not shaking it and moving it around. I'm actually gonna turn my heat up now, all right? And that's why I didn't fill it all the way with all the tuna fish. I'm just doing enough for one sandwich because you don't want to bring the temperature down. A lot of like home chefs make that mistake when you start, when you start trying to put too many things, too many shrimp, too many carrots, too many onions into the saute pan, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's no caramelization. It's all just kind of steaming itself. So you want to make sure your tip's high enough to handle that. And that's also why we like to use a nice thick bottom pan, or even cast iron pans are brilliant because they hold more heat. So when it cold hits it, it's like, not today, cold. Not today. I'm not going down that road, brah. Brah. The blogs say I'm a Southern California brah kind of guy. I'm not a brah guy. Hey, brah, what's up? I can't even say major. All right, from the Northwest. There we go. Okay, so that's looking good. As that's cooking, I didn't shake it. I didn't move it. I don't want to fall apart. I want to get nice crunchiness on the outside. I'm going to take my tomato. I don't need a serrated knife. I need a sharp knife. Tomato right there in front of me. Not too thick, not too thin, not too much. Beautiful. Tomato season is here, my friends. It's looking good. The bread. I could put butter on each side, but I'm just too lazy to do that. You see, I'm low energy. I don't have a lot of energy. So I'm just going to put the butter in the saute pan. Then I don't have to put it on both sides of the bread. But I have my bread there, my tomatoes, and my cheese. I mean, it's just a tuna melt, Malarkey. Like, how many steps are you gonna put in this darn thing? Good God, man. Here we go. So, I haven't flipped it, I haven't moved it, but there she is. She's hot. Here we go. Oh, I didn't get as much caramelization as I wanted to. Look at that. Had to be on TV, had to be on film. I dare one of you to say pack your knives and go. I dare it. All right. So let me try another side. I was just telling my wife earlier today, I was like, I think our nonstick pan's almost shot. She's like, no, it's still good. But I do know I have the crepe pan that we use once a year. I'm coming back. We'll bounce back to this one. All right, you see on top there, people make mistakes, but they come back. Don't you worry. I'm going to do the same right now. Get my little crepe pan, which has great non-stick ability still. That's what happens. That's why sometimes, like when you're making ice cream and you can't get it in there, and you have to use like the liquid nitrogen, the time's ticking, and you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then Kelly Clarkson's walking up, and there's trolls, and there's pink stuff, and all these different colors. You're like, oh, no. So you just gotta. You never let them know you messed up. All right? You gotta look them in the eye and say, that's exactly what I was supposed to give you. Huh? How'd that work out for you, Malarkey? Not real well. Right then. So. Oh, I'm not done now. Not on my watch. There it is. See, that's the caramelization I'm looking for. Look at that. Not good. Not good. Not gonna lie. Messed that one up right when I told you to lie. There, I did it. So this pan's much better. Should be better. And I did say a touch of butter on there. Let's see if that just gives it a little bit of love. It'll certainly give it some more flavor. Can you guys see back there in the cheap seats? Oh yeah. Feeling good. Woo! Next time to start with the right pan. Don't try to cover up your mistakes. Everything's gonna be okay. See, we've lost about 90% of you at this point. There's just 2 of you left in the whole viewing party. Well, let's talk about this poke. Oh, there, you're still here with me, Emily. Thank you. All right, here we go. Just here, remember this dish? It was beautiful. All right, we're gonna go back.
And we've got another question. Hank wants to know when Urban Ranch is opening.
We are going to go talk to Chris Day and the entire team, Wendy up there, later this week. I would imagine within the next 2 weeks. We're really trying to get a big understanding of how many people are on campus right now. You know, we want to make sure that we're not going to open and not have enough customers, but we will open with curbside pickup, prepackaged, real simple, and as things kind of evolve and we get back to, I refuse to ever say the new normal because I'm going back to the old normal, all right? I'm going back to the old normal. As soon as I can get back there, the party is on. And I am hosting it every day, 5 days a week. All right, what do I do with my room spatula? Oh, so much better. Oh. That's what I was looking for. So we just give a little wipe out here. Put this right back on. I'm gonna turn my temp down just down to medium. This is what I want to show you here. All right, so that's the caramelization I was looking for. See, much better, much better. Now we will take our tomatoes. I'm just gonna put 2 of them on there. I put tomatoes on there. I gotta put salt on them. All right, gotta season everything as you put it on there. Now a generous amount of cheese because it's called a tuna melt. Okay, right there, nice cheddar. If you guys are doing this at home, throw in some brie cheese, throw in some goat cheese, mix it up, have some fun, think outside the box. You know, so many different fun things going on there. Now, I have my saute pan here. I'm gonna use a little bit more of that butter. It's gonna almost brown. Again, I have a good non-stick pan now. Right there. Yeah. This isn't gonna take too long. All right, so my knife spatula right here. Now here's the trick. In order for it to melt, I'm gonna turn my temperature down just a little bit so it cooks a little slower so that it absorbs all the way through. My tuna's already nice and warm because it's been in 2 saute pans today. But also, so I'm taking it nice and low. Oh. And then I put a little weight, maybe a top. You can even use the bottom of another saute pan. Almost makes it panini. But we don't want to make it a panini because the tuna fish is light and I put a lot on there because it's so good. I don't want to push it out. I just want to make sure I get a nice even toast. And by putting a lid on there, it kind of makes it melt all the way around. Mm-hmm. Yes, 1 second. I've already got a nice melt going on. That panini machine we have there. Oh, watch this. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, you see what I'm saying? That's the good stuff there. Okay. About 2 seconds on that. Let me give a little cleanup on one over here. Yeah, as soon as we can get the ranch open again, very, very excited for it, and really love the whole vibe up there. You guys, beautiful campus, beautiful people, great company, and we really look forward to coming up and cooking for you because that concept is just so fun and so revolutionary, and just delivers a great product at a really reasonable price, and we're very, very proud of it. So really happy to work with all of you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all. And Jonah and Christina obviously are very, very excited.
I think Jonah's on this class, actually.
Oh, then he's laughing at the way I melted that tuna. Show your face, Jonah. Show your face right now. You son of a gun. Yeah. There he is. Like, nice work, Malarkey. Did you see this, though, Jonah? Did you see that? Huh? Chef Jonah, everybody. He runs the operations up there. Yeah, right. Who's ready for tuna melt? Oh yeah, Jonah, you have a fancy panini machine up there. I just have a saute pan, a crepe pan from Christmas time. Yeah, must be nice. Okay. Oh, is that cheese melted? Oh, that's a melt. Angle across. Tuna melt. Mm-hmm. Boom. Chaka-laka-laka boom. Chipotle tuna melt with some nice cheddar, some tomatoes in there. Smelling good. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a duo. I'm Brian Malarkey. We're here at Michael's, and I decided to take the old tuna dish and put it into 2 special new dishes. All right? You see they're not touching, Tom. All right? Can I bring them to you, judges? No. Oh, there's no judges for my, oh. If you watched the last episode, you know what happened there, right? Nobody wanted the duo on the same plate. Tom forgot what year it was. Tom forgot. He probably invented the duo, but you know, what can I say? So thank you, Chef Jonah. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you to the Irvine group. Chris Day, if you made it to the party. Wendy, if you're out there, we love you all. Can't wait to see you guys again. I'm glad everyone's safe and strong and looking forward to making you all great food very, very soon.
And if people wanted to cook with you again, how can they do that?
Well, I don't know, Lauren. Oh, yeah. So anyway, we're doing all kinds of live cooking classes. If you go Cooking with Malarkey, is that me?
No, it's just brianmalarkey.com. The link's in there. Lola joined us. She's coming to our Sunday seafood supper.
Jonah, this is really good, man. Jonah, you did good.
Does anyone have any questions or want to ask Chef something off mute?
Woo!
Chef, you did a great job.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you guys. Thank you, Jonah, for putting these recipes for us together. Jonah and his team are absolutely phenomenal. He lives up there and he just does the greatest job ever. Keeps that kitchen cleaner than any kitchen I've ever seen. And just the whole place is top notch. And the people up there that work there really, really love their job. And they're really looking forward to coming back and seeing all of you guys, serving you amazing food in an extremely safe and fun environment. And the good news is, I think they've extended our liquor reach at this point. I think we can move around our liquor a lot easier now also. That's the only good, one of the few good things, but that's one of the best things that came of this whole thing is ABC is like let the party go, my friends. Let it loose.
All right, awesome. And this recording will be sent to you all later this evening. If there are any more questions, I suppose we'll let you finish your tuna melt and get to Taco Tuesday.
All right, thank you all. Be safe, be strong, and we'll see you again soon, all right? Love from Urban Ranch to you, all right? Appreciate it. Have a great night. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Jonah.